I didn't realize she was in a high chair.
I can reach the counter this way.
So was it anything? I didn't listen to the emails, there was 8 of them. For the.
Hey, it's 7 o'clock, I'd like to call a meeting in order, we'll start off saying the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Start out with public comment. Before I take any, say maybe some people asking questions. Our investigation is done, we can't say nothing about it. No use asking us. If you want to know, you gotta call the sheriff's office and file for a FOIA. Daily News, I guess they had it.
FOIA, not FOIA.
FOIA. So other than that, and the insurance paperwork's been done, so. Okay. Hold on a second. I used. You want to turn it?
Yeah, I just wanted to pass on, last week we had another treatment of the invasive species around the lake. You might have seen the signs around. It was a successful treatment, with a hole. I just want to pass on the gratitude CLA has for contributions for this, all of this stuff, you know, and it wouldn't be able to do it without those contributions. So if we can, pass on to your friends and people that use the lake that the donations and contributions are needed for this type of water treatment. Dropped off some flyers I got from the treasurer's office regarding eagle, and regarding how invasive species can be on people's boats, how it's important to wash the boats before and after. It's a law effective 2019. So if you get a chance, look at these flyers and take a look. There's information online that you can get to get more information on how to keep this under control of the message.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hap?
Now, I'm just wondering, seeing how that was our monies, and it's, I know you've closed the investigation, but if I miss money, I'd want to know where it went, and why are you dead set against an audit? Why can't we have an audit? I mean, you spend our money the way you want to, and some of it's pretty frivolous, and I don't think an audit to get further answers is frivolous. I mean, we are the people. You guys work for us, and you're supposed to have the answers. So give us an audit.
That's down the list farther, right?
Pardon me?
It's on your, if you look at your agenda, it's on it down the.
I did.
Okay. Anybody else? Mark?
So is Blake gonna be coming back to work, or?
It looks like it.
Okay.
Just wanted to introduce, we're new to the area, we just bought Crystal, so it's just nice coming to the What's your name?
Diana Gordon Cooper?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Where are you at?
Merle Street? Right?
Anybody else? Barb?
You know, Barb Lemon, I am concerned that in the past meeting you suggested that if we had policies and procedures, that people would not follow them. And I'm hoping that you're not speaking about the board members, because if our board members are unable to follow policies and procedures, then they need to be removed. I also want to say thank you to Roger and Kelly Martin, because they started the recall petition. We were very close to getting the numbers that we needed. And most people that I asked about the recall, asked them if they wanted to sign, they said that more people on the board need to go, and that they would use the next election to remove them. So I'm hoping that if you really want to stay in these positions, that you become more transparent and much more informative, and maybe start reading the rules and using them. The rules that are by the state that have been ignored, and I think it's time that you start doing it. Because once again, we're paying a lot of money, and the people that live on the lake that have no say are spending 3 times as much as any average person that lives in Crystal. And if it weren't for the people that live on the lake paying these taxes, we wouldn't be afloat. They could use some of that money to help pay for the, the treatment of the lake, but you didn't even earmark that. And I don't understand that. Even if you added an additional dollar, everybody's tax bill, what a difference that would make. Just saying.
Or can I comment on that? That would require a special assessment district to do
That
that.
is correct. I understand that, and I think it's, I would gladly start it, and I would gladly lead it. And I would tell you that every single person that lives and goes into the lake would say thank you. Because I believe that the Crystal Lake Association in the past has spent from $15,000 to $20,000 a year.
We're up to about 35,000 this year.
Okay, great. And we live here, and we don't pay for that, but we pay for, I don't know, just crazy stuff.
Anybody else? Sherry?
The last information we had, heard about the park or the park project was that my understanding was they had planned to start the project after Labor Day, and that's why we had the trees cut down last winter. We haven't had any kind of an update or anything. And I think it would just be really advantageous and helpful to all the people in the township if we could get an update. Is the project going to be delayed another year, or?
Like we told you at the last board meeting, Sherry, we're still waiting on Eagle to give us the okay.
Okay about what?
The drawings and everything, because they changed it on us this spring. It wasn't wide enough for a handicap.
What was it?
My understanding was that they approved the drawings previously.
Sheriff.
Okay. My understanding was that the first time that we got Eagle approval and they eliminated a switchback, that was a done deal. I know that Eagle's an issue now, but somebody's not doing their job as far as Wolverine goes. They should be pinching that, because our project's in limbo. So, anyway.
Kim?
Don't we have a certain amount of time to get that money spent?
24. No, fall 24, yeah.
Well, so we've got,
They still plan on getting her started as soon as Eagle, hopefully be done by May.
everything come May of 2024?
Oh, 23, or 4, yeah, right, just 23, yeah.
Wow,
Mm.
well, that doesn't seem like a lot of time.
Anybody else?
I was at the Mount Calm County Board Commission because I had to get approval for a variance for a garage lean-to that's on our attached garage that we're building. We went through a process of talking to their 9 board members who went through it. And I just want to share with you, my experience was that they made me believe that I should be coming to you guys versus going to them. But I brought up the point that if that was the case and I was told that, I'd be happy to come here versus going there. So I don't know if you guys even know that the county has got some type of position that the township should be handling something as simple as allowing me to put a roof on my garage. That's all I wanna say, you don't have to comment on it, I just want you to be aware. And then we were on we were front page of the paper 2 days later, and if you wanna read that article, it was June 28th, the Carson City Gazette. But I just wanted you to be aware that was my experience, and it just seems like between the two of you, you can figure out how to be clear and simple for someone like me who doesn't really know where to go and what to do.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on. Need a motion to approve the agenda, accept the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alicia to approve, second by Patty.
I've got some discussion. Looking through the bills on the CMS bill, pass this down to you guys. Oh, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Now we need to accept the consent agenda, need a motion for that.
I'll second.
Motion by Nancy, second by Sarah.
Now discussion.
Discussion.
All right, in the red box right there, on that CMS bill is a website for the EDA, and when I followed the web address, it goes to a page that says CMS Internet, and that's all. So I'm just wondering why, number one, we're paying for the EDA's website on our bill, and number two, why is it there?
Annual domain registration plus a website for a year. I'm sure we have been doing it several years in a row.
We want to pull the CMS bill out, remove, amend the motion to remove the CMS payment,
Yep.
so we get clarification.
Until what? Are we still paying their insurance?
Who makes the motion, or you have to?
Patty made a motion, want a second?
Second.
Motion by Patty, second by Sarah, to pull out the CMS bill for now, check it out. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carried. We, got a vote on the bill, accepting. All in favor, accepting the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carried. Okay, that puts us down to Montgomery County Voters, Chris.
Well, our last full board meeting, we had absolutely nothing, but a 45-minute meeting. And basically it was just our monthly business. We have to do our bills and stuff like you guys just did. The only other thing is, we've had 4 budget meetings. And we looked at raising the officers' wages and some prosecutors' wages, so trying to get more competitive so we can maybe hire somebody. Last I knew, we were looking at hiring 10 officers. We've had, I think, 2 left for the state police, 1 left for Greenville, 1 left for Fremont. We've had 1 retiree. So as fast as he can hire, he's losing people. And, so we're trying to get a little more competitive wage-wise, so maybe we can attract some people and retain them a little bit. And same with the prosecutor's office, the indigent defense. The state has sold so much money at that, nobody wants to be a prosecutor anymore. They can make more money just representing people in court than they can being a prosecutor. So we're trying to get those wages in line a little bit, so maybe we hire some people. Other than that, it's about it. Not much going on right now. Budget, we should have that done, I think the last meeting of this month. It's the 4th Monday anyway, I think we're actually gonna vote on our budget.
Anybody got a question for our commissioner before we move on? Thanks, Chris. All right. Fire report, Mike's not here. jump Mike about our fire department report. Fires from July 1st to the 31st, 1 illegal burn, 1 PI accident, 2 trees on power line, 1 tree across the road. Total runs, 1 business meeting, 1 training meeting, 1 association meeting. I don't think he's working any of those, here I told you about that earlier.
So we need to.
Yeah, right.
He does have lots of, he put money in his budget. I believe in my orders. I'm not sure. We need to wait and see.
DPW. Boys have been doing a pretty good job. Mike, I think, is gonna be maybe another week off. One thing I wish, Sherry, is you don't tell our boys not to be doing what they're doing. If you got a complaint, call me or anybody else on the board. Duck Lake Improvement, Shirley here. Downtown Development Authority. Dave, he's not here. Mountown Police Report, Officer Lee.
Good evening, everybody. Walk over here so we can see me a little bit better. Deputy Lincoln Sheriff's Office, for the month of July in Crystal Township, we total 199 hours of coverage, 113 and a half traffic control, 4.5 traffic related complaints, 42 hours of criminal complaints, 20 hours of non-criminal, 7 hours of report time, and 12 hours of community service. Activities, we had 9 assists, other agencies, 4 domestic services, 2 suspicious situations, 2 suicidal, mental health, or well-being related, 1 traffic related, 2 juvenile related, 1 trespassing, 2 animal related, 1 community service, 2 traffic crashes, 2 assaults and batteries, 3 warrant attempts or arrests, 1 malicious destruction of property, 2 child abuse, 1 elder abuse, for a total of 35 investigations and 4 arrests. Deputy left the township to assist Greenville Department of Public Safety in Stanton with an animal issue for 55 minutes, to assist another deputy for 35 minutes on a suspicious situation, 45 minutes on an assault, 50 minutes on a mental health issue, 40 minutes on a suspicious situation, 40 minutes on a mental health issue, and 30 minutes on a traffic crash, and 22 on a domestic situation. 22 traffic stops, 22 verbal warnings, 13 subjects investigated, 10 cars investigated, 158 property inspections, 2 liquor inspections, for a total of 2,587 miles of patrol. For notable events, on July 5th, a malicious destruction of property was investigated. The victim, a 20-year-old woman from Westford, was attempting to retrieve her vehicle that was parked at the Crystal Raceway parking lot. She got into an argument with a 20-year-old woman from Ionia. The woman from Ionia eventually damaged the vehicle by breaking a window. The Ionian woman was charged with the crime and is awaiting court. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I understand that there was a police, event at the racetrack on Saturday. Did you go to that?
I did, yes.
My family went, but I stayed.
Okay.
How many hours does Montgomery County actually patrol on the water? Is there a specific time?
You got me there. Our Marine Patrol, I want to say they serve 5 days a week, or 10 hours each day. So I'm not sure it's weather dependent, so some days they might not actually be out there.
But is it like 2, 3, 4 hours at a time, or is it daily?
It's daily, they go lake to lake every day. So it might be an hour, 2 hours, and then they go to the next lake, and they just kind of keep cycling through. Yep. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, puts down the trustee report, Sarah.
Want to let all of you guys know that the MTA online learning platform is good to go. All those classes are loaded in there. Go to my webcast, and there are 60 that come with that package. and they are all very worthy of paying attention to and checking out. The one that I did to make sure that it worked was policies regarding facilities and online presence and platforms, and why you should have them for your place. And it was interesting, a little ahead of us in our policy development, but very interesting.
Sarah, that puts us down to correspondence, EMC insurance, that's with our money to covering Eagle. Seawall permits, one for North Shore and one for the Duck Lake over there, Shepherd Drive, where they're gonna do that one. And the DTE public hearing. Unfinished business,
Could we go back to that for just a second, and the insurance? It was very interesting to read this policy, and contained within it, on page 8, under property coverage highlights, number 21 is lock replacement and rekeying, coverage of $25,000. Oh, since it was insurance, I thought we were insurance discussing.
no, that was over on the money.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Okay, now we're on. Okay, down to American Rescue Plan.
We are still waiting.
You have to
for
speak up,
Duck
I
Lake
can't hear you.
seawall to be- Still waiting for the Duck Lake seawall to be completed. Haven't got any worse on that yet. But taking that into consideration, we still have approximately $776 left. We need to commit to it by the end of this year, but we have until the end of 2024 to spend it. So, right now, we're at.
Have we thought about putting that to the park project?
It's been talked about for sure.
We're sitting over here, we cannot hear you.
Air conditioner.
Should we turn off the air conditioner, because we just can't hear,
That's
everything that you said like recently is a blur.
Is that kind of against the park project, that committing to that? We have other things going on, so I'd like us to really think about the best way to do any of it.
Are we gonna pour our 5,000 for the compactors out of that?
Say that again? No,
Compactors.
Oh,
Are we taking that?
good question, Kurt, because we do need to pay the county that money.
Right.
They asked us to put it in the budget, and we did. So, I'm not the person to ask, that has to go to a board vote. So, but they are requesting we do it also, if you wanna move on to that really quick.
And we had
I'll wait till I get to the compactor.
any more discussion about a new leaf? What is it called?
A bigger one?
Yeah,
Vacuum.
have we got any,
Yeah, they checked in on that, I can't remember, Mikey was talking a lot of money going to something bigger.
yeah,
The one we have is what, 40,000?
Yeah. I think, I thought he said 60-something thousand, I'd have to ask him again for sure.
okay.
But then he was afraid if he got much bigger ones, like you get down some of these side streets over here, and maybe he'd have trouble with it,
Okay,
so
well, I know we had discussed that.
yeah, cause there's so many around, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks. Community center,
I am going to ask that we do a special meeting to discuss the community center. I've heard a lot of people say, well, we're not listening, or I'm not listening, me specifically is not listening to what the people want. So I'm gonna request that we do a special meeting, that anybody, and that's all we discuss, so we can all get on the, this is what we have, this is our options, let's get the public's input on that. So I'm gonna request a special meeting for that.
Do you wanna wait till you get the Haynes bid, so we've got some numbers?
Yeah, it would,
for that?
yeah. What she's talking about is the last part of the demolition part was to get a bid for a new wall. I just had him in here Monday, he's gone next week, and he's hoping to get me the bid by the end of the month, but he said he couldn't guarantee by the end of the month. So, yeah, as soon as I get that, I can let everybody know,
you
and
wanna plan on a special meeting like an hour before our regular next board meeting?
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Do you think, Sarah?
Is an
I'm
hour,
fine with that.
is hour enough to talk? You know, if we get a lot of people in, is an hour gonna be enough?
Would this mean like bringing stuff from the committee that was on this previously to maybe bring that stuff in as well?
If I could, I know Sherry, you had some surveys,
Yeah, I had copies of those.
can I get copies of
We've
that?
got a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And
We
if
have a
anybody
copy of the
else,
results. We have copies of the results. I
you
think
can
that
email it
Sherry's
to me,
file has.
I'll be more than happy to get a presentation together.
The different options.
I
Yeah.
guess if we did an hour, would it do it, we could just schedule another one and
Okay.
go on from there.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. That puts down the Michigan One account.
And we need a resolution that we're going to put that $250,000 in there, otherwise we can't do it.
Can we make, amend the township investment policy to add Michigan One to that? Because right now,
It's not on there? Sure, yeah.
no, this says be resolved, the board approves the following financial institutions as depositories of township funds. Huntington at City Bank, which was done, see, that was done back in 2021, so
Yeah.
we need to add. So I'm gonna make a motion that we amend the investment policy to add Michigan One as one of our institutions.
Motion by Patty, second by Sarah, to add Michigan One to our investment policy. All in favor, you get the roll call? No. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
So then now we need a motion to approve opening a savings account in Michigan One.
Gotta have at least a $5 savings account to then open a CD, which will be a separate account. So I would make a motion that we do that.
And I will second that.
Motion by Nancy, second by Elise, to open a check or savings account.
$5 savings.
$5 savings account, so we can invest our money that we okayed last month. In Michigan One, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. That moves us down to the forensic audit.
I have a question. I would like to know what was said to Mr. Oliphant, when he says, with respect to your situation.
I explained to him that we had $1,000 missing from the treasurer's office, and there was a police investigation going on, and we were waiting for the results of that. But the police officers thought we might want to do a forensic audit.
Correct, Kurt, you know my feelings on this audit. I want this audit to show that I don't play with that money, and now that's what people think. So I would like to see it. He can look through all of my records since I've been here. And that's what I would like done. I
So
think
we're
the whole
gonna spend-
situation was handled wrong in the first place, but that's just my opinion.
So we wanna spend $5,000 to $10,000 to see if we can find $1,000?
Maybe we need to.
That's
know
not
before
the
we
issue.
do. I just said my piece, so I have a right to make a comment
Yeah.
about it, that's what I feel.
Now, can we take this out of, like, the marijuana money?
Take it out.
Just for me.
Okay, there's a lot of different places we can take money out of, but at the bottom line, we only have so much money.
Right.
So, I don't think there's any.
Did that, the one you called, did they say he would do it?
This guy said, yeah, this is what the email is, that he would.
Do it.
between five-
The one I called Ken over there, he wouldn't do it.
So he's going to, exactly what is the audit going to be looking at? The tax account for what period of time?
Well, what period of time do you want them looked at?
Well, I guess that's what is the goal of the audit? To
See,
find
the
$1,000?
taxpayers' money has not been played with, let's say, that when money comes in, money then gets receipted and deposited.
So it's not to,
This is why the policeman said, you guys need an audit, this is wrong. So like I said, that's my feelings on it.
but I guess, so it's not really to determine if the $1,000 is maybe missing in the paperwork somewhere. That's
It's
not,
gone, that money is gone.
right, but so that's not the point of the audit's not to see if it's just, you know, a clerical error. Or, you know what I mean, that's not what we're looking for.
The officer and I went over that in detail.
Right,
Because
right.
they suggested that in the beginning, and they
Right.
said, well, it's right here in black
It's
and white.
sure, what, any other money is not missing, or it's not
But
been
it's-
misplaced, or.
But how, would
Okay, well, how about when we were looking for $52,000 we already had? And that guy did nothing.
right. Exactly.
So how much did that cost, and that was okay?
But at that time, the records were not
It just hadn't been,
accurate,
it
they're
just
not,
hadn't
they
been,
were not accurate records.
they just hadn't been dispersed from county planning, that's all it was.
Right.
But
But,
the records were accurate, it just needed dispersed, it was in the bank.
How do you determine you zeroed out with the county, so wouldn't that mean your records are okay? I
It's
guess
more
that's where I
than
get
just,
the zero out.
a beginning of year and an ending year,
Do you guys,
it's the whole year,
do you guys have a year-end audit anyways?
yes.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Why do you
pretty
need another one if you have a year-end audit?
This is a forensic audit, that's different than a regular audit.
Forensic audit, you basically want them to go over your policies and procedures and create new ones, that's what you're looking for?
That's not what we do.
but I guess my question is, so is, the audit would be for the tax account, in what period of time of records are you asking them to audit?
What period of time did you ask him to audit?
I didn't ask him, I just said an audit. I told you
So
what
it's
it's
kind
going.
of wide open there.
Yes, and that's why I said, you know, it's $450 an hour, depending on how much, I mean, do you want tax year, winter 2022, or, you know what I'm saying, or summer 2022, or all of it, back to when you started?
Well, that's why I was gonna ask Nancy, when did you actually take office?
Well, which time?
This last time, let's put it down.
When I took over for Kim or when I was elected? I was elected in 2020. Took over for Kim the year before. But I was here the year before that.
But I'm just saying, at the end of the, when you balance out and you zero out when taxes are dispersed, there's not a question that money is being misappropriated, because it's being dispersed out and you're zeroing out at the end of each tax season. So I don't see the benefit of going back to 2020, besides, you're asking to clear your name, is what you want.
You betcha.
Well, would an internal control study, which will help with efficiency and get rid of waste, also do the same thing? So then we have a benefit to the township where we're doing things in a more focused kind of way and being more clear about things, and also do that.
I can work with that with the cash in policy, but.
And I know Yo and Yo do internal control studies.
Mhm.
That sounds like what you need is an internal
That's
control,
what I
make sure your policies and procedures are in line and being followed.
I've followed everything that was put in place before I got here, and it's worked extremely well. And I do follow things that have been put in place, whether it's written down or not, it was what was being done prior, and it works well.
But your year-end audit, you do an internal control audit. Your year-end audit should, you look at your internal controls, the year-end
They do.
audit,
They come in
so.
and they look through,
So when's our next audit? When is it coming up? October?
They come in October.
What exactly is a forensic audit anyways, I don't even know what that means, or is there no easy way to explain it?
they're gonna look a little deeper.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more
they
into
look at
that,
particular
line
accounts,
for
yeah,
line.
ins and outs.
Just like the forensic scientist,
Yes.
CSI.
yeah, it's,
There you go.
There you go.
I think we're losing the meeting. So I think we're losing the agenda and all this stuff here. Public
Yes,
comment.
do you wanna take a vote on the forensic audit, or what do you wanna do?
I think we should contact Yo and Yo and see about an internal control study and what that would cost us and discuss it.
Okay.
I agree with you, Sarah.
All in favor, say aye.
Can you make a motion?
A motion?
I'll make a motion that we contact Yo and Yo to inquire about the cost of an internal control study.
And I will second that motion.
Motion by Sarah, second by Leish, to contact Yo and Yo.
Shows you when you.
Material control audit, all in favor, say aye.
It's the
Motion
township.
carried.
Our auditors.
They're up, down, those are auditing.
CPA.
Okay, that puts us down to policies.
Alrighty, we got a pack that should be looking familiar. And the first on that pack is, find my own pack. Yeah, board member, code of conduct. I like this as it is. What do you guys have anything to add,
Yes.
take away?
I'm with you, Sarah, I liked it the way it is.
So I will make a motion that the board member code of conduct as written is forwarded to the attorney to review.
I'll second that motion for review.
Motion by Sarah, seconded by Lisa, to send the code of conduct of Township Board for our lawyer for review. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Oh, this got out of order. Inspection of records. Pat, I know you've been dealing with a whole lot of FOIAs. So if we had an inspection of records policy, I think it would kind of lessen that load a little bit, especially with stuff that's easy that people just want to check out. This is a new introduction this time, so please read it. To the ethics policy from Secretary of State. And this one, we're gonna go page by page, because it is a choose your own. Does anybody see anything on the first page that is not okay to them?
And this is one we just got today, right?
Yep. And last month, and one.
Okay, so it was, okay.
It's
I thought it looked familiar, but I wasn't.
Yep, it's a choose your own, and there are sections that are required, and there are sections that are optional. So that's kind of what we need to go through and look at.
So this code of conduct, oh, that's ethical, okay.
I have a question. How are these policies governed? How are they enforced?
There is no enforcement of policies. Policies are a voluntary way to say, this is how we do it, and this is how we're gonna do it every time, and if new people come in, then they can refer to that document and say, oh, this is how we do it.
Okay,
Or if the board changes, they can come in and redo them all.
Yeah.
I see.
But it's a way to build trust with your residents, who then you guys can say, okay, these guys do it this way every time, they've passed this policy, good to go.
Well, who brings up the point if somebody isn't enforcing the policies? Is it within the board or
It is,
citizens?
it is in here, and that's on page 2, and I do have a question mark by it, 3.6. It's reporting improper actions of elected and appointed officials. And do I know if this is legal? No, but this did come up as a question for myself. As a removed from this line, would the Board of Review be able to do that?
Board of Review handles taxes.
Right, but if they would volunteer to be on something like an ethical committee?
Well, our assessor's pretty big with assessing, and she has the Board of Review.
Okay.
I have a question, I'm brand new, I'm Mary Lyon, Park Avenue. This whole thing to me is like,
My head is reeling. Cause we don't know what you guys are looking at all. And you work for us.
Yes, yes.
Somebody elected you guys, if, I don't, but we don't know what you're talking about. And we have no idea, because I'm looking at the paper, Robin, where's that? We don't see it.
No, definitely not, because it's scads of papers. This is policies that I have been working on creating, because there really aren't a lot here.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole meeting.
Yeah, the whole
We
meeting.
don't know, I don't have a clue what's going on. And I want to get involved, but I don't know how.
You pick up the agenda when you walked in?
I did. I got everything. Yeah, I was on the HIPAA team for the state of Michigan when HIPAA first came out. And boy, everything we learned, we had to share. And I can see that that's not the way this is. And how come it's not? How come you guys don't have to share stuff with us? I'm just asking. I'm not mad or anything, I just don't understand. How can we know if you're following the policies if we don't know the policies?
Right now, we don't have no policy,
Yeah,
really.
she's trying to get him started.
You're kidding, this is where this is new?
Yes.
Oh, well.
See, we didn't know.
Well, I didn't know that. Well, why isn't there been policies?
It ain't public comment right now, so we have fun.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That helped.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Do we have to FOIA to get them?
I wouldn't.
There ain't really nothing, we ain't accepted anything yet, we're just going over.
So we better wait to see if you're even gonna allow
Right,
policy
and
procedure
if they
before we
wanna
worry about
send it to
getting
the
them.
lawyer to get his okay. and-
Right.
That is how I read that you create policies. I
Right.
have never created policies other than for a single owner business. This is new to me and I'm learning.
Exactly the way you do it. Thank you for doing
Apparently,
it.
you're doing great.
Yes.
Okay, so we're back to 3.6. There's an explicit related policy option. I kind of think we should get rid of that, because there is a reporting improper actions, and I think de facto wise, it just goes to the supervisor. Page 3 of this one. 3.12. Disclosure of conflict of interest. I would like to keep the first one of that. 3.13, I don't think is necessary. Does anybody have discussion about those?
Cross out 3.1.
Yeah.
Yes.
3.15, I have knocked that one off and take the alternative that is directly under it.
That is 3.5. What's 3.5?
This is the first reading of these, and it goes first to the board, then it comes to you. So what they're doing is looking at her suggestion. That's why we don't have this information. It's just when you get a policy and procedure, you have to start off at this first stage.
Next page is 3.18.
What about 3.16?
All right. What do we, good catch, Pat. I'm open to what kind of amount there, or zero, or discussion.
I think government says $25.
But so if I have CMS as my internet provider because they're a vendor to the township, I have to.
No. As long as you're paying them something, Pat, they're not giving you a gift.
No, 3.16 is, will disclose any personal transactions in
It
excess.
says transactions, so that would be.
Yeah,
either-
entered into with any vendor who also does business with the township.
It's a fine line there, but I would think that you may also do that since he is.
Well, I'm not saying I'm using CMS as an example.
Correct, well, I use CMS too, so, but I pay him and you pay him. And he's not giving us a discount. It's not a personal transaction.
But that's not what that, I mean, that says any personal transactions, so anytime you go to the grocery store, that's a transaction.
And if I hire Gage to do electrical
Right.
work, Because
The
he
township
does
does.
township work.
Well, as long as we disclose, it doesn't really matter, and it's just a
I-
disclosure.
Okay, so if I rewire my house and I use Gage, you know, for instance, which, you know, I have to disclose that to the board, how is that any of the boards?
I'm really not.
I'm sorry,
sure
how does that
that's
anybody's?
The way that
You
is
know what I
meant
mean?
to be, I do know what
I
you're
don't think it
saying.
is either, but that's the way it says, and I think that's what,
I think we should just cross 3.16 out.
No, I don't think we should cross it out, I think we should think about what number needs to go there. This comes directly from the Secretary of State, if you guys wanna look it up, this is from the Secretary of State of Michigan, and it's their ethics sample policy.
Good to know, thank you.
thank you.
Well, we'll put that one aside.
Yeah, hold up there.
Look at it more, sorry.
Okay, that's all right. We can keep going through, we can just have that one hand. I don't think 3.20 is very applicable. And the exclusive related policy of 3.18, I think is good.
3.18, you said?
Yeah,
Use of townships resources.
That one's good.
You said 3.2, Sarah? Cross it off?
I don't
I
think
didn't
it's real
see it either,
applicable,
yeah.
because that's not kind of how stuff goes around here.
What was the comment on 3.18?
That, I would like to keep it in.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Then we have an either or confidential information, and I think either 3.23 is fine or 3.24 is fine.
Yeah, simple, pretty simple. Yeah,
Yeah.
3.24.
Okay. I would like to keep 3.27.
I like 3.27.
Further down, I do like both 3.32 and 3.33.
Good.
On the next page, the explicit related policy option 3.42, I think is important.
Number was yes, or?
3.42.
It's a good one.
And the next page, bottom of the page, related policy option 3.51, I believe is important.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last page, 3.54, I think is important.
So get rid of 3.55?
Yep.
And 3.51 or 3.52, you said?
3.51 is what I have, but
Right.
discussed.
I like that one better, that's why I was asking.
Okay.
3.52 X out.
So we need to figure out 3.16 with a logical number is that, yes, there are vendors that we all do patronize and pay bills to. So let's figure out what all vendors we have that crossover with, because we're CMS too.
I'll just use that one as an
Yeah,
example.
well, yeah,
And
but
I
Gage,
use Gage,
Brooks, or,
'cause, you
yeah,
know,
there are a number of vendors in the area, so like,
That'd
that's
be
a
really hard to
possibility.
do,
Yeah, because-
especially if you hire a contractor.
And I
over
rewired
that.
the house and it was,
That could be
you know, that was a pretty
thousands
penny,
of
it
dollars.
wasn't
I
cheap.
don't even like the way that's
I
worded.
agree.
Let's just strike 3.16
There
for
you go.
right now then.
But it's such a small community.
That's what I think.
You wanna go community, you know, when I hire local.
Yep.
At least I try
Sorry,
to.
I can't do that.
I would make a motion that we send this document with what we're keeping and what's been struck also to the attorney, just like the board code of conduct.
Are you going to put it together
Yes,
for us?
I will put it together and send it to you.
I'm gonna second the motion.
Motion by Sarah, seconded by Leash, to send this ethic code deal to our lawyer for review. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carried.
Alright, cash handling policy. Nancy, do you have some thoughts on that?
Get rid of change store, there's none of those, get rid of petty cash, I will not have petty cash, people need to pay me, exact amounts, or the, within my over and under. I cash receipts, the way it's done, and I think this works fine, this is, number 1 on the second page.
The number 1 should be the clerk's office is responsible for.
That's what I'm getting ready to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said it was okay.
Switch this to clerk, no, number 1.
Okay.
What happens, Sarah, is I do a handwritten reporting, which is number 2, and it's a 3-part, and then I turn them over to her, and she electronically receives them. So this is a 3-part.
Okay.
This is what happens first, and then I hand it back to her, and she does that after the deposit is made.
Okay, can we get together and work on verbiage sometime this
Yeah,
month?
sure.
Okay.
And I had a question, copy for the receiving department. I wasn't sure what that was.
It's a copy and paste of other people's stuff that I've yoinked off and smushed together. They can be struck.
Okay, so you guys are gonna work on that one?
Yep.
All right.
And that's where I am on what's gotten done, so the remaining ones, please read through. Additions, subtractions, next meeting.
Okay, thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
That puts us down to compactors. Nancy?
Oh, let's see, we're waiting right now for the engineers from Consumers to do the layout, running electric, and then we can start going from there. Basically, we're down to that $5,000 that we did okay to give to the solid waste committee, to the solid waste fund. Also, they asked me, about the owner of BE when he said he would help offset this. I don't have a contact for him to know if he still wants to help with this or not. But I would like to make a motion that, we take $5,000 and we can discuss out of where, if you guys wish, rather than just the general. At Macomb County, it will be received into the solid waste fund and, offset some of these costs at this point.
Is that the only cost?
I do not know because I don't have complete numbers. Brenda Tater is, waiting to get back on a grant she applied for. Mark Saban is still going to any other townships or villages or cities he's missed to see if they will put money towards this as well. I would say they're gonna try their best to, but I can't guarantee that.
So we don't really know what the total cost of the project's gonna be or how much the township is gonna be responsible for?
And we do not at this point, but we did make that commitment to give them $5,000.
Right.
So that's
So even
what,
he kinda at that meeting said that should be all of it, didn't he? Or,
He said no more than, well, we've gotta pay it out first.
right.
we gotta pay it out
yeah,
first,
right,
but
yeah.
what I point blank asked it at the last solid waste meeting,
They give
you
you
know,
another story.
not another story, he wasn't 100% sure whether still applying for that grant. Or we can leave what we've got, and by the way, can we get rid of the grill that someone has so kindly donated?
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of it.
Well, we're waiting for
And-
jump day on the 26th, you know, where we had to get rid of it. We don't have anywhere to get rid of it.
Well, we could move it out of here so that people don't get the idea, maybe, that might be a
I
thought,
don't think
just
that's
a
gonna
thought.
change it, but.
But look at it this way, I know these compactors won't cure everything, but we will have cameras.
Right.
Okay? We're hoping that will be a deterrent.
Where are these cameras gonna be mounted? I mean,
Well, the cameras need to be pointed towards the compactors, and the
Okay,
compactors
so-
will be out where the green, approximately where the cardboard recycle is, the blue ones.
so they can zero in on license plate or something.
Correct.
That's what, I talked to Jeremy,
Jeremy's not doing these kind of, these,
no, but I just bought cameras, and he said, cause I said, could you shoot it off our building? Cause we got one now watches the voting box, you know, and he said, you'd be better off get it right out there so you can catch everything.
yeah. I had gotten a bid from Jeremy from CMS, however, the head of the solid waste had the resource recovery technician buy some anyway.
Yeah.
So they bought them already.
That's all right, I just was
So, but no, it's good to know that information. Not sure, I wish I could tell you where they'd be mounted, but they've gotta be mounted where they can watch what's going on. And maybe we can, how much of a panoramic view do you have, Pat? Do you know?
No, it just is right on the box.
Just on the box, okay, all right. Okay.
But I guess my concern is, so, I mean, we put $5,000 into the budget, but we may end up spending a lot more. We honestly don't.
Or we could lose our recycling, because if this keeps up, we will lose those recycle bins. We've been not really warned, but it's coming in close to it. People are just not using it right. And I'm going to hope, but I can't guarantee you anything right now. But I would like to make a motion that we do that $5,000 check.
I agree with that, take it out of the rescue plan money.
That would probably benefit the community, which is one of the things we could do.
That's what I was gonna suggest as well.
You might just set that grill by the road and somebody might take it.
I think somebody's looked at it because the top's been open.
Anything I put out by the road.
We need to totally delete this.
You filed a motion, Nancy.
What?
You filed a motion, you seconded,
Yeah,
okay.
let's take it out of the rescue.
I didn't hear.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And also, please, can someone get me the number for the owner of BE?
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, I will ask him if he wants to absorb something here, or does he want to send it to Blackburn County,
I
the
bet
solid waste fund?
numbers in the business plan for everybody.
New business?
New business,
Insurance?
insurance.
Go Sarah.
Come on,
And
Sarah.
that was just a guy.
What do you want to do, what this is really for, do you want him to come and he can go over it and you can ask him questions?
Well, I just noticed some things here that we could use, and I would like that,
Okay,
actually, yeah.
that's what that was for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
That
on.
was-
please.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll have him come.
Great.
We'll have him at the next meeting then.
Okay.
Cool.
Save it.
Save your questions for him.
Grant doesn't have to recopy it.
Okay, line items adjustment for park funds.
Oh, that was just, I wanted a motion to move the funds from donation and charitable contributions to the park fund, $100,000 from the county.
I will second that motion.
Did you say that number again?
$100,000.
From where to where?
From the county.
That's what the county gave us.
When we get a donation, it goes into a donation account.
Should
We want to move it over to the park.
To the what?
Marijuana money.
To the
Park.
Okay, that's, I just, like I said, I couldn't say.
So you wanna go ahead and make a motion that we move the marijuana money over to that too?
Where do you think that puts us now? else that needs to be spent. Do you wanna look at that?
We looked at it Friday.
Well, you know, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
can look at it.
oh, after DDAB, afterward.
Okay, so.
That's gonna put us pretty close. It depends on what the bids come in at, when they get the
Okay, now-
okay.
What we need to, like Nancy said, we need to look at our, because we're taking 250,000 out.
Out, yeah.
For the, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for the
So
CD.
now, and we're gonna take 100 and put it down
Then
in.
another 150, of the marijuana.
We wanna look at this.
Yeah, I think we need to look at
We're
that.
not
We'll
gonna take
talk
the
about that
marijuana yet.
next, we'll take that
Yeah.
next month.
Let's look at this, okay?
I have a question. How much money have you got from the marijuana?
First year was like 52,000, and this last year was 103, 113, something.
Okay, so how much money have you gotten from donations?
There's one guy out there still donating 40-something thousand.
Well, is.
He ain't donated yet, but
Any donation or part donation, we're really not at public comment yet, okay?
Right.
Sorry, we're not at public comment
We need
yet.
to approve this one.
okay. Motion by Patty,
It's like by Nancy.
second by Nancy, to take the 100,000 out of the fund to put in the park fund. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Comments at the end.
Okay, now we're down to public comment.
Okay.
I had a question. You had mentioned something about ARPA funds going to a seawall in Duck Lake.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was possible. We're at Duck Lake.
where the township owns the park there.
Oh, okay.
What part there, where the boat ramp is, or?
No, we gotta go on down Pates Road to Shepherd Drive, and you go around, and it's right there. It's not a very,
I didn't know if there was.
it might be as wide as this room right here. It's not very wide.
They're gonna put a seawall in there?
Putting this, yeah, it's gonna be a stone seawall. Then we okayed last year, we was gonna put a pavilion there like we did over there, but then we backed off that one until they did something with the beach.
Did you get bids for who's gonna do the, did you get 3 bids for the seawall?
Yeah,
Did you?
yeah.
Oh. Can we, do you get a FOIA that? How do we get that information?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
FOIA? Okay, I didn't even realize that was happening.
Yeah, the lady that lives about beside
I think we
got the bids for us. and-
okayed that 2 months ago. Yeah, residents of Duck Lake put those together and handed them to them, we looked them over and.
Nice.
Anybody else?
I might suggest that until that park is completely done, that you have a standard agenda item under unfinished business, so that every meeting you can bring us up to where you are. My big question is how, are we, right now, is the status waiting for new bids because we're so far away from the time that the original bids were done?
It's never been bidded out. They put the plan together, what they're gonna do. Eagles gotta okay it, and they didn't okay the first round, cause they want to be able to pass 2 wheelchairs instead of 1, pass each other. So we went, 4-tier to 3-tier, widened it out to, instead of 5-6 feet. So once Eagle gives the okay, then it'll go out for bids.
Okay, and then what about for money? How much do we have for sure, 100%? And how much more do we need? We won't know till the bid comes in, I get that, but just a rough, so I can understand what we have saved and dedicated towards this project.
And where's this one at? In the park?
On the park down, this right here.
Where the one right there.
We've got, 300 from the grant. 150 from our township, right? 150 from our township.
We're getting 150.
We held the fundraiser.
Well, that was what the board approved.
Yeah.
We approved the 2 county checks of $50,000.
This is way back when it started, we approved 150.
Out of the general, which is why we need to look at this,
Yeah.
because that's, okay.
Yes.
And
Thank you
make
very
sure
much,
we're
Kat,
still
sir.
saving that and accounting for that as we go through.
And we held the
And then we
fundraiser.
got 100,000 from the county.
From where?
That is within.
They're their marijuana money, I think.
Oh,
Well, I don't know if it was all, was that all marijuana money from the
Part of
county?
it,
Part of it was.
part of it was ARPA, part of it.
Our,
Okay.
and then,
You know, fundraiser, 19,000.
we got, one guy donated 48,000. I think that's right, is that
But he
right?
hasn't given it to us.
Yes.
No, that's a
Well,
donated.
then
He pledged it. He pledged it.
Pledge.
Pledge.
Pledged.
Give me a break.
And then we got 17 more thousand? Oh, 17 more thousand
From where?
fundraiser.
Fundraiser. That was already in here? It's 19,000.
19,000. I was off, it was 19,000.
So you might already have this in mind, but as you get closer to going for Go Day, I might suggest that you just get a projected photo of what the final thing's gonna look like and put it in the park, so people, when they go by, they can see something visual of what we're aspiring to have at what point. So it's just something that would be
Tammy,
helpful.
did you add up those totals too? Cause I'm so, like, the question really never got answered.
So 300 from the grant, 150 township, 100 from the county, 50 roughly in donations pledged, and then,
17,000 from the for fundraising. It was
19,000.
There was only 40,000, it was pledged. If we matched that, then we would get 40,000. So we've got 19,000, we still need to get,
but
11,000,
I never even got my question answered yet.
is it 40 or 48? I heard two figures for the guy who's pledging.
It was
40.
40.
Just don't count
It was 40.
unless you have it in your hands.
yes,
So 19 is fundraiser, right?
fundraiser.
So, okay.
So what's that, around 600,000 real quick? Is that about 600 grand? Yeah, I don't have the figures right now. I have a brain injury, so short-term memory is gone, so that's why I'm asking.
No, it's
Out there going
not.
back and forth like this.
Right.
Well, at the next board meeting, we'll try to have the game total for you.
And there's in-kind, you know, with work that people are gonna do for nothing, which is the in-kind donation, all that stuff adds up.
Right.
What's this where we had to have a certain amount to get the county or somebody to match that amount? And we were waiting for that or something, or are we all good now?
No, it was pledged, someone pledged that they would give us $40,000 if we raised $40,000.
So we have 20 more to go somehow.
Oh, I
between now
thought
and
that
then.
was a whole county or state thing, like we needed, last I knew we were at 300 and we needed so much more so we could get our,
Right, yeah, 300 was our grant that we got.
excuse me?
300 was the grant we got for it.
So we got a grant, I thought we had to come up with a certain amount to get more
Well,
or something.
the whole project's gonna be around 700,000 or more. Depends
We're
what the bids
almost
come in.
there,
Almost
we're
there.
almost there.
Yeah, it looks like
So there was nothing where we had to come up with a certain amount, we had to, in order to get the rest of the money from the state, I think it was. The ARPA money or something like that. We had to have a certain amount for the state to match it or something. Maybe that was a program that we just never did.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess.
And since the time it was initiated until now with the cost of increasing of supplies and materials, that's really jacked the price up.
And we've
Yeah.
it's been downsized
It's
since
downsized and
date of inception.
Yeah, we're going down a lot in layers too.
Anybody else for public comment?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I looked on here and we have spent $15,000 to PLM Lake and Land Management. What is that?
Duck Lake?
You're looking at Duck Lake Board?
Yeah.
minutes
No,
from-
it's here on ours.
It's because we're the fiduciary for Duck Lake Improvement Board, so we write your check.
But that's their money for Crystal Lake as well.
Okay, thank you very much. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Anybody else?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to,
Separate that.
Motion by Peg, second by Nancy to adjourn at 8:09.
yes.
John, stop over sometime so I can.
I just walked by the gate. I don't know how to stop it.
I know.